Okay, so I see the mic wasn't on. So let's try this again. I feel good. I feel great. I feel terrific. I feel good. I feel great. I feel terrific. I feel good. I feel great. I feel terrific. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a wonderful day for a neighbor. Would you be our? Could you be our? Would you be our neighbor? Today, I would like to discuss with you. Uh, like I'm studying for my builder's exams. Of course, whoever you work with will be a licensed general contractor. However, I want my own, so I am able to work wherever I want to work. And you got to think the same way. Just like I would plan and think in my new home journey, what types of things and what types of areas would I need for me becoming a residential builder for my new home? I need a big driveway because I would need to either put a trucks or maybe even a dump truck somewhere around there. And I also would have to make sure that I had reinforced concrete for my driveway and foundation so it can handle the weight of the different machines that might be stored in my garage or one of my sheds on location. So let's just say I had actual construction equipment at my home where, literally everybody's got a bunch of cars. I have a dig dug and I've got and I've got a couple other things in my house besides my classic cars and my new cars and my trucks and my girls' cars and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, you got to plan for that future. You got to think about, what are you going to be doing in the next few years? Like if you have children, you got to make sure that if you do buy a house, if you buy a house with a one car driveway, remember, and it's a one car, even if it's a one car garage or a two-car garage, if you have a small driveway, that means that you literally have the chance and opportunity to be somewhere. Oh, I was just got a little sidetrack. I read a note. Back to where I was. When you're building your home, you have that chance to actually create something for yourself in the future that plans for you. And thank you, Mr. Lilly, for commenting. And the thing is, what you got to do is you have to plan for that future. Like, for example, if you're a gardener and you know you're going to have a big garden and you like to grow fruits and vegetables, then you need to keep that in mindset and also even check the soils from a surveyor to see if it's suited for growing. And if it's not, you're going to have to bring something in. Like, it's no biggie. All you have to do is one of my companies was called Urban Hillbillies, and all you have to do is build a bed, and you can grow fruits and vegetables in that bed. It's no different than growing in a pot. So even if you have an area where the soil is contaminated, you can still have a above ground garden with no issues. And you want to keep those types of things in mind. Maybe let's see, if you're a real estate person, you might want a place to actually store your signs and all your information. You want to make sure you have a office for yourself. And even an office that is sort of, it's not away from everybody, but it gives you a little bit of peace so you can handle things and people can still come and see it and have access to you, preferably in the house. If you want to access outside of your main structure, maybe accessory dwelling unit, you can always do that. Just be cognizant of the fact that, when the weather changes, whether wherever you are, you'll have to go out in the middle of that to actually go to your office or other location. So, those types of things are also in mind when you think about, do you want an attached garage or a detached garage? The benefits of the attached garage is you actually can walk right out of your door into a warm car. The benefits of a detached garage is that you have more space actually with your home right there. So you have your garage off somewhere else, might be in the far back. And if you're a car person, you might want a detached garage only because, now I know you think you might want to walk out and you might want to walk out and work on your cars. However, anybody else ever work on a 72 Chevelle and know what the smell of old transmission fluid smells like? So you gotta be cognizant of that. And if you have a significant other, you don't want them upset with you with your various ideas and things you're creating for your home. You want to create something that's a joy for both of you, not just for you. Because like they say, happy wife, happy life. If your husband's not happy, then you ain't happy either. So it's just the you want to keep everybody sort of happy. And if you have children, you want to make be mindful of, you want to have some area that's not concrete. You want to have some play space so they can sort of, like learn to, be in this world and fall and play on the grass and be accustomed to being in this world. The grass that the creator created is one of the most therapeutic things. It actually gives you connection to the earth and gives you peace of mind and sort of grounds you. Yeah. So, these are the type of things you want to keep in mind when you're picking your home. You want to think mind of, okay, what do I need to add for my new profession? What does my significant other might want to add for their new profession or in their growth? Do I have children? Will they have cars? If that means that somebody's going to have to get up and maybe move a car at a certain time in the morning if you don't have a two-car driveway. So, you keep all these things in mind, or just that you'll be the one pulling all the cars in and out. So, these are the type of great things to keep in mind when you're creating your home. You want to create something that's not only a joy for you, it's a joy for your family, friends, and associates. Oh, and speaking of that, if you actually like to entertain, you want to make sure that you perhaps have an area to entertain in the house, or even better yet, outside of the home. If you're not too keen about everybody being inside of the home, having an outside, I think the word is terrace, or a patio with great garden furniture, and maybe even what is it called, a lava fire pit to keep you warmer during those colder days. And those type of things, are really, really great. And what we're talking about in the new catchphrase is the quiet luxury mindset, which is basically the durable, elegant, comfortable mindset that won't burn down, blow down, or fall down. I always get that switched around. I always get the blow down. I always get to do the blow down first. So it won't burn down, blow down, or fall down. Thanks, Mr. Lilly. I always burn down first. Okay. So we thank you very much for listening into our show. So this is your homework. If you're have a profession and you're in your home, your present home, and think about what you can add in your present home to give you a more piece of space that allows you to do your new profession. And if you're moving to a home, then make sure to include the different mindsets of what you want to do in that home. Like I mentioned, if you're a mechanic, you definitely don't want your cars and everything up by the house because your significant other isn't going to be happy about it. If you're a gardener, you definitely want to make sure you have an area that you can garden. If you have children, you definitely want to make sure they have an area that they can play and romp about with their friends. If you happen to be a business person, you want to make sure you have an actual office. If you like to play, you want to make sure you have a game room. Like we were blessed at this house that the mine, which is say forefathers and foremothers bought, actually had a pool table when we moved in. And these are the type of things that you want to keep mindful of, and you want to incorporate these thoughts into your new construction home. That way, it is your new construction dream, not just a home. We thank you very much for tuning in today. You inspired me, so I stayed on the show. A word of advice from everybody, or for everyone, is I know we're after the panoramic period. However, if someone is not kind enough to cover their mouth when they're coughing, please get up and move. Just a thought, just a thought. Holly Berry, swordfish. So we want you to have a good day, have a good week, and have a good life. We like to say thanks for the memories of you listening to our show. We told you how it goes. Now you have to plan with woman and man for your new construction home tomorrow. We thank you so much. And once again, if you're planning on moving, we are in Florida. In Florida, we have the 256 Ravenswood in Port Charlotte, a over 10,000 square foot lot near great amenities and wonderful things. You can give me a jingle and we can break it down for you a little bit better, or we can actually put you in contact with our agent. They can explain the area. In addition, we also have 2163 and 2167 Flagstaff and Punta Gorda that can actually be separated into two homes on that lot. So it's great for that investor planning to be an investor or that Airbnb. You can live in one, Airbnb the other one. Then when you're ready, move out of yours and Airbnb them both. And we do have benefited deals, or you can speak with our general contractor about our excellent packages for buying more than one home. Legal, 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 legal. So we look forward to you checking out the Punta Gorda home. In addition, we're blessed. We're speaking to Arkansas, and we have someone wonderful down there. Oh, for people out there who are actually in the real estate world, if you happen to need a Your Gal Friday to actually assist you with your paperwork, I know a lot of people would rather do deals than do paperwork. So give me a jingle, and we'll put you in touch with our girl Friday, Miss Jalea. And let's see what else. Oh, also, and she's the one who's kind enough to we may have created a contractor down in Arkansas. And we have a lot in Arkansas and the largest gated community in America, Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Our lot down there is only a few $1,000s. So we literally, like you saw the when I was advertising the like for example, the Joshua Tree at about 279, that would drop by about another $20,000 because the lot is only like $2 or $3,000, or even lower than that because the lot is from a charity. So you can actually utilize the lot as your equity and then utilize that to walk into your new construction homes. I'm not just whistling Dixie. One of the reasons why I share so much about this is I found a way to offer people new construction homes in a way they can get in with low money down. Is ways to get into your new construction homes with low to no money down, just with your earnest money deposit, depending on what you did in life. And not only if you're a veteran. So please reach out to me. We have things for veterans, we have things for not veterans. There's a way you can actually, I've been saying this for the last 2 years, 3 years. Wait, it's 2026, 3 years, 4 years, might be four. You can actually take the equity. Well, let's say you bought your land for 2 or 3 thousand, $4 or $5,000. Your land might actually be worth 20 to $25,000. Now, if you had to put down 3 to 4% or some kind of percentage, you can actually utilize the land, and we have land persons that can speak with you. So we're moving across the country. Like I mentioned, now we're going to be in Arkansas. We're already in, thank God, we're in Michigan. We've opened up with a wonderful contractor. So we'll be building homes in my home state. I look forward to talking to all you real estate agents who look forward to actually starting new construction as part of your portfolio or continuing it as part of your portfolio. Thinking about being able to offer a home that 30 years from now, you don't have to worry about the walls bowing in your basement or that crack in the basement wall. That is what concrete insulated steel EVGs 3D potentially offers for all homes. Because if somebody actually takes a steel girder and runs it through a wall, something's going to happen. So you got to be realistic. Otherwise, for the natural things, we're great. Excuse me. Hold on a second. Yes, and we had the blessing to. Now here's the funny thing about everybody in California. You have to please forgive me. I thought I knew California. I know nothing about California. Just like I thought I knew Florida. I knew nothing about Florida. I always thought Tampa was down around Miami. No. Tampa is in the middle of the state. Miami's at the bottom of the state. Jacksonville's at the top of the state. Didn't know that. Okay, California. I always thought the way they talked about the Bay was at the bottom of the state. No, that's Northern California. Then the Inland Empire is Middle California. Then down below there is Southern California. Man, I did not know. So when I was speaking to a Northern when I was speaking to my Northern California general contractors about going to the Inland Empire, when he explained to me exactly, I was like, oh, now I get it. So the beautiful thing is, Mr. Jackson was kind enough to hook us in with a couple more contractors for the doo for the California area that we are going to be contacting this week. So right now we have a contractor for Northern California, and we will have shortly a contractor in the Inland Empire. And it's not on Mr. Jackson, it's on me because he already sent me the information. And I was speaking to an agent yesterday, so look forward to homes that won't burn down, blow down, or fall down in the Northern California as well as the Inland Empire, as well and shortly the Southern California area. Then in the blessing, just like I don't know states, like my father's state, I didn't know. So Memphis is on the eastern end of the state, and Nashville is in the middle of the state. Just goes to show, since we don't really look at the maps since we were kids. Those maps we used to look at the maps all the time and see where all the cities are. And unless you're doing some traveling, you're not going to really remember. So I always thought that Memphis was in the middle of the state or the far west end. No, it's actually in the far east end because when I asked my cousin, who is an agent, look up Road Salisbury Hill if you want a great agent in the Memphis area. And she actually told me, no, she's 3 hours away from our new location with our wonderful contractors. We're working with a great gentleman by the name of Mr. Brainerd out there. And we're happy to be out there. And whoever thought that I'd be able to build homes in Nashville? Maybe I'll meet Dolly Parton. That'd be cool. Okay. Anyway, so hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to the Grand Ole Opry when I'm down there building homes. I know. In fact, I'm gonna send you a live from the Grand Ole Opry. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you a live from the Grand Ole Opry, and we'll see who we run into while we're there. It'll be really hilarious if I actually end up in some of these folks' homes. I actually might end up building some of these folks' homes. What am I talking about? Well, not me, the general contractor in Tennessee. Hey, that rhymed. So that's Middle Tennessee. So that's Florida, Tennessee, California. Oh, and in Michigan, we already have a lot to build on, which I have to call the general contractor. That's the one thing when you get really going. I forgot that, I've been looking so hard for a general contractor in this area. Now that I am blessed to have been sent one, I got to call and see if he's actually comfortable with going to Saginaw because we have a lot that was donated to a charity in Saginaw that we are excited to build on and start giving Saginaw, to be exact, Buena Vista, Saginaw, a different look. It's time to bring some more style and some more swag to Saginaw, Michigan. So we thank you so much for listening into the show. Like to say, have a good day, have a good week, have a good life. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family, and take care of your community. Bye bye.